What's the full form of MCQ? Multiple choice questions? Nah, I call it most confusing questions. Whatever we may call it, no one can deny that they could potentially be the most scoring parts of our exams. And with online exams these days, MCQs are the new favorites of our teachers. So, in today's video, I'm going to give you 5 perfect strategies to ace your MCQ exams. 10 tricks for guessing intelligently. But before that, did you know which educational institution developed the first complete MCQ examination? Given below are 4 options, and you need to give your option in the comment below, while I reveal the correct answer at the end of the video. So let's get going. Hey ChetChatters, this is Chetna and you're watching ChetChat. And let's dive straight into the 5 strategies to ace your MCQ exams. Strategy number 1, plan your time. Time is the biggest limitation in MCQ exams. So to tackle the continuous panic of losing time, here's a very important strategy. If you have 1 hour for your MCQ exams, for example, divide that into 3 parts. The first 15 minutes for skimming the paper. Read all the questions, and as you go along, you will find some small, very easy to solve direct questions. Solve them instantly, and this will give you an initial boost of confidence. The next 30 minutes, go through the rest of the questions. If something is very hard, don't spend more than 1 minute on it. In her book, A Mind for Numbers, Barbara Oakley recommends the hard start, jump to easy technique, where she says that as soon as you hit a mental roadblock, shift gears and get to work on easier questions. The brain is a powerful organ. It keeps working in the background. Also, you might get some clues in some other questions. And the last 15 minutes, this is the time to tackle those challenging problems and perhaps make some intelligent guesses for those no-go questions. And we have 10 super tricks for that coming up later on in this video. Hey, before I give you strategy number 2, if you want a shout out in my next video, write me a catchy comment with the hashtag ChetChatters. Strategy number 2, don't rush. Read the question twice. Pay attention to words like not, always, which completely change the question. Also, double check the exact requirements of the question. Underline these words and other important keywords. If you think the first option is correct, don't rush to circle the OMR sheet. Make sure you read all the options carefully before choosing the answer. You never know, you might find an all of the above somewhere. Strategy number 3. Use clues from the question. This strategy has 3 subparts, just like MCQs. First, in math questions, if the calculation seems too long-winded, one easy method is to put the options back into the question and check if the equation balances. 2, in English or social studies based questions, use grammar as a tool to help you. Example, this is your question. Option A is missing the verb, and option D has no connection to the people of Iceland. These options can be eliminated, even though both may be true, and you're finally left with option B and C. 3, check units and dimensions. These will give you vital clues. So if the calculation is for an area of an object, for example, rule out the options that are not in square units, even before you begin to solve the question. Strategy number 4 is called context-based memory. Sometimes we ponder over MCQ questions with foggy answers in our mind. We're trying our level best to recall it, but you're just stuck. And to our rescue, psychology has a trick called context-based memory. It says that to recall some missing information, try to remember where you studied that piece of information. Was it in a book or online? Was it from a tuition teacher or from a friend? Even trying to remember which corner of the page that graph was, that may trigger your mind to connect the dots and find the missing information. It works even if you forgot where you kept your keys. And with that key information, let's move on to our next strategy. Strategy number 5 is practice, practice, practice. There is no strategy to crack MCQs that beats this one. Practice every day, check your answers, go back to the concepts and understand the types of questions being asked. And if you want a perfect timetable, perhaps to study for any exam, then I will drop a link for you under this video. And if you're enjoying this, then don't forget to press that little thumbs up. Now you're left with the tough questions. And if there is no negative marking, or maybe the negative marking is very low, then perhaps you can go ahead and make some smart guesses. So here are my 10 tricks for intelligent guessing. Tip number 1, eliminate the options. The general formula for solving MCQ is to increase the probability of the right answer by removing all the possible wrong answers. To start by removing the options which are clearly wrong. Sometimes you might get lucky and be left with only one option. Tip number 2, long tail keywords. In his book Rock, Break, Scissors, a practical guide to outguessing and outwitting almost everybody, the author William Poundstone has revealed some marvelous findings through his research with huge sets of MCQ data. His book reveals that the option with the longest statement has the highest probability of being right, because the test makers have to make sure that the right answer is indisputably right. Tip number 3, avoid the footprint. Poundstone also discovered that 2 successive questions rarely have the same correct option. For example, if you're solving question number 30 and find yourself clueless, then look at the answer to question number 29 and question number 31 and don't select the same letters. They have the least probability of being correct. Tip number 4, golden options. Research has shown that if you don't know the answer at all for any particular MCQ question and one of the options has either all of the above or none of the above, you can bet on these options. They have a disproportionately high probability of being correct. One reminder, however, is to make sure that either there is no negative marking in your paper or the negative marking is very low before you try guessing too many answers. Tip number 5, true versus false. In the tug of war between true and false, in a true-false question, Poundstone revealed that true is more likely to be the correct answer than false. So if you're guessing wildly, then choose true. Tip number 6, avoid north-south options. Remove extreme values or completely unrelated values. For example, you have 4 options like banyan tree, acacia tree, koala bear and bamboo tree. Clearly, koala bear would be the wrong answer. Similarly with numbers, remove extreme numbers. When in doubt, the middle order options are much safer. For example, if your options are 100, 150, 200 and 300, then perhaps 300 may not be the right answer. Tip number 7. If 2 options are similar sounding or if they have the same keyword appearing in both these options, chances are that one of them could be the right option. Also, if 2 options are completely opposite, chances are the right answer may be one of them. Tip number 8. Grammatically incorrect options are most likely to be wrong. Tip number 9. Poundstone found that when a question has 3 options, A, B, C, then there may not be any clear bias. But when there were 4 options, perhaps A, B, C and D, then B had the highest probability of being right at 28%, closely followed by C at 25%. And finally, tip number 10. Poundstone found that when a question has 5 options, the 5th option had the highest probability of being right. But one caution here, avoid guessing more than 5 to 10% of the questions. Try to practice more, learn more, trust your own instinct, and remember that hard work is the shortest path to success. And now coming to our question which we asked you in the beginning, and the right answer was option A, St. Edward's School English. And kudos to all of you who guessed it right. Don't forget to leave a comment for me with the hashtag ChetChatters and happy learning.